Hello, how y'all doing? Hi, everybody. It's Lee Solden. This is World Languages Live. Today's subject, learning English. So, plan to teach English. Okay, and this while I will be teaching this uh, course in Spanish and Portuguese and Italian and French and German and Dutch. This video will all be in English because the first step for you to learn English is to listen to somebody speaking English and to keep listening to that person as part of your daily life. So you have English playing in the background around you. So this video is the start of the process. I'll post some directions to this later. But for now, you just need to know that instruction number one, listen to my video, put it on loop, keep listening to it. And for like 3 hours a day, when do you listen to it? Well, you listen to it while you're eating, or you could be listening to some music, or whatever your favorite music is, in any language, does not matter. And you can have my voice playing in the background. I'll be telling a story later, and I'll be doing full transcripts of everything I'm saying, starting at the very beginning here, so you can read what I'm saying. But learning a language starts with listening to it, and that starts with the habit of listening to it passively. If you were born in the United States, in a country where they speak English, excuse me, in a household that's they're speaking English, you're going to be surrounded by the English language. So if you want to learn language, you should learn it like a child does, by surrounding yourself with it. Also, the story I'm going to tell you, I want you to learn it. So I want you to surround yourself specifically with that story being heard over and over again. About half the time for your passive listening. Other times you can do passive listening. For instance, watching TV. You're watching your show in whatever language, doesn't matter, but you need to have this here playing about, a very low volume. So you can hear it barely, but it does not have to be very, very loud. It's for your speech center. Okay. So that's the first step. Surrounding yourself with the language and specifically with the story you're about to learn. Okay. And the very person who you're going to learn the story from. You want your voice to tune into that person. Okay. And again, you listen to other stuff too. Once that happens, once you've gotten used to hearing my voice, I usually tell people listen to my voice for like, or a voice, a particular voice, for 21 hours. But I don't care if it's a whole 21 hours. You have to be in a habit of listening to English every day. The second thing I have you do is a thing called ear tuning exercises. This is where I have you read some English it may be in English letters because it's kind of universal. Um, exactly how you write ear tuning syllables doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect. All they are is something that your eyes can follow as you're trying to listen to my voice. So you'll be trying to, with your eyes, you're not speaking out loud, you'll be trying to follow these ear tuning syllables. A syllable, by the way, is a part of a word, okay? Like syllable has 3 syllables. Syllable, three syllables, okay? So as you hear me speak these syllables, you'll have the ear tuning syllables right in front of you, okay? And you're going to do about 1 hour a day of ear tuning practice, ear tuning exercises, on top of maybe 3 hours a day listening passively to my voice. those two things together will have you hearing my voice extremely well in a few days after you start the ear tuning exercises. So what do you do then? Okay, then we'll be able to hear the English very well. The next thing you do is you start absorbing the English. Well, how do you absorb it? Well, you're given the definitions in your language. I will have for these 6 languages, I will have all the definitions for what I'm saying in English. Okay, so whether you're an Italian speaker or a Spanish speaker or a French speaker, it's all going to be the same process. As far as the passive listening, it's all going to be the same process. As far as the ear tuning exercises, but when it gets to the read-throughs, then each person has to go to the appropriate language, their own native language. Or hey, what if you're an Italian speaker, but you already know Spanish too, and you want to get better on your Spanish? Then you could go to the Spanish to English translations and work from Spanish. So you're helping your Spanish out and learning English at the same time. Okay. So what a read through is, you look over the notes that I'll provide about what each sentence means. And after you've looked over your notes and you kind of understand what the sentence means, you listen to it. You listen to it while you're reading it. I'll have the transcript, so you'll be able to read the transcript while you're listening to it. Now, when I say read it, I mean in your mind only, silently, not out loud. So you're reading it to yourself. Or I could say, instead of reading it, I could say, you're following it with your eyes. You're following the ear tuning syllables with my eyes. So you're going to follow these ear tuning syllables with your eyes 10 times while you listen to the same 30 seconds of speech. So I'm getting off the subject of that. Excuse me. That's okay. I already described ear tuning exercises. We're doing on read-throughs. Read-throughs, excuse me, you're going to look over what the sentence means, and then you're going to read it, the text, 3 times while you're listening to my voice. Okay, you're not talking out loud. And what I meant to say earlier is for the ear tuning exercises also, you do not talk out loud. You're only following those ear tuning syllables with your eyes. Okay, so back to the subject read throughs. What do you do next? Okay, you want to eventually be able to understand exactly what I'm saying just by listening to me. So after you've read 3 times while listening carefully, read silently, then you close your eyes and listen to the sentence 3 times. Okay? And do you do more than that? What if you don't understand me yet? Doesn't matter. You've just told your speech center what is going on, what those words mean. So your speech center took the definitions from your native language or some other known language, is going to match it up with the speech, my speech in this case. Overnight, your speech center is going to figure it out and put more English into your permanent memory the next morning. You do this every morning, and you also continue the ear tuning exercises, because that's how you're going to develop a native ear for English. And also you continue that 3 hours of passive listening. That passive listening is going to help tune the ear in further, because the passive listening and the ear tuning exercises are what get your ear tuned better every day. The read-throughs are going to help associate those words, the English words, to your known language. And then the passive listening is going to reinforce that. So you never stop the passive listening, okay? And you'll pick up all this English really fast with this method. Okay. So with that said, here's the story part of it. Again, it always starts out with the story. And okay, if I got a story in the native language, then I can work with that by telling people what each word means. And why a story? Because that story is all connected. So you're not only seeing the words in the same sentence, each sentence within the story. So a story that flows, from one paragraph to the next, one sentence to the next, etc., is going to be easier to comprehend. So here goes the story. It's called Endless. It's a novel that I started reading, a novel that I started writing. Never did complete it, but I got quite a bit written. I don't know. I haven't seen this novel in probably 20, 30 years, but I remember a lot of it. So, okay. So here's about how it goes. Okay. Okay. Welcome, visitors, to the Information Center, the Galactic Information Center. We have a lot of new information to share with you today. We have discovered a place that we've termed endless. Why? Because this place, this is a planet, kind of. Well, something we've never seen in the universe before. It's like something the size of a sun cooled off into a ring. So it makes this big giant ring, think of a giant donut, 1,000,000 miles around. So it's huge. So we call it endless because if you were to get on the surface of this planet and start walking around it, it's 1,000,000 miles. And of course, you come back to the start, and keep going. And it's also interesting in that if you're on any one section of the donut, if you were to instead of going along the circumference of the circle, what if you went around that one section of the donut? Well, okay, your gravity is going to vary depending on where you are. Oh, it's you don't need to get into all that, but you can not only continue straight ahead all the way around the circle, the 1,000,000 miles. At any point, you can also go around the world in the shorter route. In other words, around the circumference of that section of the donut. So anyway, it's a very interesting find, and our historians have been very busy. Uh, they're in disguise, and they're on the planet, and they've been gathering information about what's going on in this planet for the last. Well, they have found thousands and thousands of years of history. It's very unique. The people on the planet, they've had civilizations rise and fall. They've had civilizations as pretty much advanced as the United States in the middle of the 20th century, like the 1950s. Then another country came along with clubs and beat them because there was so many of them, right? Okay. So technology doesn't always win. Sometimes numbers win, right? So it's a crazy history of this planet. And so the story starts, way I'm going to tell it. They're doing a military parade in one of the cities. And what you're seeing are birds flying overhead. And these are like, they call them war birds. They're just giant hawks, and men ride them. And they have armor on the birds, they have armor on the men, and it's all shiny. It's a nice bright day, very colorful, very entertaining. It's also there. They've invited people from the neighboring countries to come and look at this military display, just to show everybody how powerful they are. Okay, and you'll see these birds, these war birds. There's more than one type of them. End up playing a part in what goes on. This is going to be covering like a couple thousand years of history before the story's done. Okay, and that's it for today. So on Wednesday, I will be back, and I'll only be talking in Spanish. I'll stay in Spanish while I'm teaching the English, word by word, phrase by phrase. Then same thing for Friday. I'm only be on 3 days a week. And on So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So basically, every week I'll switch languages. This week I'm going to teach it in Spanish. Next week Portuguese. Next week in Italian. No, wait a second, I just did Italian. I'm doing French, then Italian. Okay, and then I'm going to teach it in German. Then I'm going to teach it in Dutch. So that's what's going to go on for this week and the next 5. And other than that, this is World Languages Live. Lee Solden. It is August 24th, 2020 at 5:31 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Everybody have a good day.